And what is up everyone, welcome back to another episode on the A-Team channel. Now some of you guys are doing a fantastic job in inundating me with messages and DMs, and hey look, that's cool, I'm not complaining here. I think it's a lot better that we deal with this together, and that's one of the reasons for the creation of this channel. So the topic of today's video was probably the most sought after question that I've been asked about. So just as promised, I'll deliver on what you guys have requested. I know many of you have been keeping a close eye on our fellow neighbours. I'm referring to the Scottish results, just in case I lost some of you there. And I know, much to your dismay, that hasn't brought much comfort to you. Frankly, I don't blame you, as I know our northern counterparts were not rewarded handsomely, and there has been an uproar following the result announcement. In fact, I believe Nicola Sturgeon has come out to apologise about how appalling the system has failed Scottish students. Hopefully, the brave lions down here won't be betraying us. I mean, can you imagine Boris coming out to apologise?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of this great nation. Tonight I am here to address the entire nation, that even though everyone is expecting an apology from me,
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
This got me thinking, so I started to delve a lot more into the standardization process and find out what really has been taking place and what are these guys keeping from us. But just before I get into that, if you are new here, welcome. Where have you been all this time? This is the place to get the latest info about exams, tips and advice for optimizing your student experience during the course of your GCSE and A-Level journey. Also, before I almost forget, I will be doing a live YouTube stream this Wednesday at 1 p.m. That's the day before A-Level results come out, where I will be addressing your individual questions, concerns, and hopefully relieving you from some of that tension. So if you'd like to take part in that, then hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell, and also let your friends in on that too. Firstly, there are a number of misconceptions surrounding this, and guys, refrain away reading all the articles that are out there, as there really isn't complete validation of some of the figures and some of the things that they're presenting, and I've even read a few that actually end up contradicting one from another. Just stick to the official documentation for now, since some of these publications are purely to build up hype anyway. What is standardization? I mentioned this in numerous videos before, so I'll quickly just run through it again very briefly. OFQUAL has decided to standardize results, as teachers have never been put into a position to estimate grades for students. They are very much aware that grades can therefore be overestimated, and in some cases conversely as well, underestimated. So they want to ensure that standards are consistent all the way across the country, hence the term standardization. So how will this process work? For every center and every subject, the exam boards are using historical data to determine your grades. Let me break out from all of the jargon and completely simplify it for you. Essentially, what they're trying to do is they are using data from previous years and how students similar to you who went to your school or a similar setting to try and decide what you would have most likely gone on to achieve. So they are not looking at your previous GCSEs or even sat on an individual level, but rather collectively and the past 3 years performance of your school to say, yes, so and so, you should be getting this grade, and such, you deserve to be getting this grade. Now, everyone has been asking about exactly how much emphasis is being put on the mock grades, or how much weight does your school's history carry? The plain and simple truth to that is no one really knows. OFQUAL have kept a tight lid on this and have even stated in the official website that they will only release this information on the actual results day. Personally, I'm not sure why they feel the need to conceal this, as by doing this not only creates room for a ton of confusion, but also tensions and stress levels rise due to this. But OFQUAL, for whatever reason, has felt the need to keep this classified. Will standardization take into account higher performing students when the center's history is poor? That's a very good question, and one that I am interested in knowing myself. OFQUAL have stated that they do realize that some schools' performances do increase year on year in some cases, but from their understanding, performances only nominally improve. And what they are trying to say in a gist is that performances don't just spike up drastically from year to year, and thereby the trajectory of forecasting significant improvements will not be taken into consideration under this model. And what about private candidates? Look, let me be frank here. This area is the least covered and the most ambiguous. So OFQUAL have said that if the information is not abundant, then they will look into matters concerning private students. And if you are a student registered at a private center, very much similar to ourselves, then the one piece of good news that I've been able to gather is that they have stated that there will be a stronger emphasis for these students receiving their center submitted grades, which I think is kind of fair. So I know that if that is the case, then that's going to be a huge relief, and some of you would be very pleased to hear that. The last thing I wanted to mention about standardization, like I say, I know there are many articles out there stating grades are being downgraded by 40% or 33%, etc. Seriously, for the time being, I know it's difficult to do so, but take it as a grain of salt for now. OFQUAL have stated grades overall this year are going to be up for both GCSEs by 1% and A-Levels by 2% compared to last year. They've gone on to mention that unlike Scotland, your socio-economic background is not going to play a factor in this. Obviously, we will wait and see how it all plays out. Guys, this has been a tremendous journey and a memorable one indeed. I've had some of you and some of our students here that have been extremely supportive and understanding, and likewise, we try to replicate the same to you. I really hope in the most sincerest of ways you guys all get what you expect and deserve. I know not everyone will get exactly what they desired, but that's a natural occurrence that takes place every year. I just hope it's not as disastrous as what people are saying and predicting and so forth. So I hope that addresses some of the misconceptions regarding standardization this year. As I mentioned earlier, I will be doing a live video at 1 p.m. on Wednesday. That's the day before A-Level results day. So if any of you have any questions, then drop it down below and join me for that, as I will try and cover more individual based questions on there. Once again, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share this with your buddies. And on that note, my name is Amin, and I will catch up with you another time.
Tryna put him in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than the church shoes. Really point to just to hurt them. All red lamps to tease them.